Senator Spatters.
Senator Gold, the Senate Sunset Clause amendment left the subject matter of MAID for mental illness much more open-ended. As such, some senators may have voted for this Senate amendment, believing that it was open for this expert panel to determine that MAID for mental illness should not occur if the evidence leads that way. Yet your government's amendment allowing MAID for mental illness makes it crystal clear that this expert panel will not have the power to determine whether to allow MAID for mental illness, only how to allow MAID for mental illness. Why won't your government allow this expert panel to truly exercise sober second thought on such a critical issue for so many Canadians suffering with mental illness?
Go.
Thank you for your question, Senator. The only change that the House effected to the Senator Kucher's amendment was to extend the period in his amendment from 18 to 24 months. The introduction of the expert panel was to provide greater and more fulsome input to the parliamentary process, the legislative process that's contemplated in the 24-month period, and I might add as well that is complements the parliamentary review that is also going to be undertaken 30 days after royal assent.
Senator Batters.
The message that was just read indicates this about the independent review. It's very prescribed and it does not contain any sort of open-ended manner. It says the Minister of Justice and the Minister of Health must cause an independent review to be carried out by experts respecting recommended protocols, guidance, and safeguards to apply to requests made for medical assistance in dying by persons who have a mental illness. That does not allow these experts to determine whether MAID should be made available for mental illness. Do you disagree with that? Do you believe that that is within their power to determine whether MAID should be made available for mental illness? Or would you agree with me that it's simply a how-to manual?
Senator Go.
I think the idea behind the expert panel is to take advantage of and to indeed structure inquiry into the what is currently a clear lack of consensus amongst professionals as to what standards ought to be applied, as I mentioned in my speech, not only with regard to safeguards, but with regard to the trajectory of different conditions that can be lumped under the heading of mental illness. It remains ultimately the parliamentary responsibility to legislate depending on the views that parliamentarians arrive at and benefiting as they will from the expert opinion.
Senator Batters.
Senator Gold, this is a critical issue and we need a clear answer on this. We need to know if it's the position of the Government of Canada that this expert panel is able to determine whether MAID is available for mental illness or only how. That is a critical issue that this Senate will need to consider when determining whether or not to accept this particular amendment.
Senator Gold.
I think that the Senator, thank you for your question again and your follow-up. The message speaks for itself. The idea behind the message is for experts to provide the benefit of their expertise and feed it into the parliamentary process. It's a position of this government that is a major step forward in ensuring that the decisions that parliamentarians will have to make, whether in the other place or in this House, are as fully informed as possible.
Senator